that worked for maybe 3-4 years, but after 3 or 4 years, you get donor fatigue. Right? Donor fatigue starts to set in. The World Food Program would go to North Korea and work under the worst conditions possible. Right? Food aid monitors who loved what they were doing. Right? They loved what they were doing as their career. They were dedicated to it, but had to leave North Korea because they were just so sick and tired of being lied to every day about what they were doing in the country. Being lied to every day by the host country about where the food was going, whether they would be able to monitor it, these sorts of things. So donor fatigue sets in. And of course they have because they have not done anything in terms of reform, they have no real way of coping with the shortages. So the shortages come back again, and still to this day, despite the famine happening in the mid-1990s, almost 20 years ago, to this day, there still is basically a 1.1 million metric ton food shortfall in this country on an annual basis. So, if you understand this history behind the country and their economic decision making, then it's really not that surprising that there hasn't been any real sign of economic reform after only 18 months of this young fellow in office, despite the fact that he is Swiss educated, he's young, he likes Disney, or at least pirated Disney productions, he likes to host Dennis Rodman, he has a wife who carries a Christian Dior handbag that is more than the average annual wage of a North Korean worker. Right? These are not signs of reform. These are signs, essentially, of leadership that continues to do things the same way. And so I don't have a great deal of confidence that things will change. On the nuclear and the missile program, which probably for many of you, this is often the area that I talk about quite often. On the nuclear missile program, I would only say that I make 3 points. The first is that, the first point is sort of, we're in a period of unfettered development right now. Unfettered development. The North Korean missile and nuclear programs are growing, and there is nothing stopping them. Yes, there are UN sanctions now. There are a whole series of UN sanctions that are on the books. But at the same time, we have seen the North Koreans testing newer missiles,